What's up, guys? It's Lance with Eldilo Designs. We just printed a sick kit for this 2023 KTM 125 for my buddy Jacob. I'm going to show you guys how to put the graphics on. Super simple. Some people struggle, so I figured I'd make a video to make it easier on you guys. We're going to start with the front number plate. This thing's going to look sick. Here we go. All right, some basic tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need some Windex so you can spray the plates. I always put Windex down first, and then I use a heat gun. You're gonna need a heat gun to heat up the graphics, help them mold on the plate, and that'll evaporate the Windex out from underneath. It just allows you to push the bubbles out and move the plate around until you get it where you need it. Nothing worse than sticking it, you realizing you're off, having to peel it back off, stick it back again. You just get it wet, you can slide it. You might need a little squeegee. I usually just use my hands, but some of you might prefer a squeegee. And you might need a knife to trim. Our graphic templates are pretty darn near dead on, but sometimes you might have to trim just a little bit, so you might need a little blade. All right, here we go on the front number plate. So here's the front number plate. This thing looks cool. We did something different with the front number. We didn't just do a straight one layer. We actually did a drop shadow and added a little silver outline. Looks pretty sick. So what I do is I sit kind of far back, and I just mist it a little bit like that. You don't have to do a ton, but just enough to get the plate kind of wet, because then you can stick the plate and you can move it around. See that? Get the plate down, line it up with all the edges right where you want it. Make sure it fits good. And then take your squeegee and start in the middle and just kind of push the graphic out. Now, these graphics, see how it's not trying to stick? So I'll just push, get the bubbles out from under the center. Once you know the bubbles are kind of out, turn the heat gun on. It'll heat this up. It'll start to evaporate the Windex. And it'll lay right down. Watch this corner here. Right now it's kind of pulling back up because it's still a little wet, but after it gets warm, it'll evaporate the Windex, lays right down. Like that. Super easy. This is an easy one. I always recommend starting with the easy one, work your way to the hardest one. That way when you get to the hardest one, you're pretty comfortable. You kind of have an idea how the vinyl wants to work with you. And one at a time, guys. You don't have to go fast. Don't get frustrated. Eventually you'll be like me and you'll start with the hardest one, get it out of the way, and go to the easy one. Okay. Now, you can see it's pretty much stuck everywhere. What I'll do is I'll let it sit, and then I'll come back around the whole bike when I'm done, and I'll go over it again with the heat gun and let it stick even better, just to make sure no edges are up. But pretty quick, pretty easy on a number plate. Next we're gonna do this is the hardest. Usually the right side exhaust side is the hardest side to do, because it's got curves every direction. So I'll show you guys the easy way to do it. Same thing as we did last time. Grab the Windex, mist it, not too much, just enough. Pull your graphic off, find just kind of line it up where you think it's gonna go. Go down a little bit. See how I can move it. This needs to go down, maybe forward just a little bit. Just like that. And just get it close. See, that's pretty much where it wants to go, okay? Just lay it down. and then you'll just grab your heat gun, and as you heat this vinyl up, it'll start to just, I say melt, it's not melting, but it's just kind of conforming to the plastic. It just heats up the vinyl and just kind of loosens it up and allows it to be malleable. I guess that's the right word. I always start in the middle and just kind of push down. Watch it just fold over, see that? Make sure if you start getting any wrinkles, like right here, just roll them out with your thumb or use your squeegee. Kind of roll out the creases and just work it into its place. Just like that. See how nice and easy it just rolled right around? No problem. I'm not having to fight with the vinyl. Just letting it do its thing. Try not to get the vinyl too hot. It's hot enough where it'll work with you. Now we'll go down here, work the bottom, grab your squeegee, kind of push the air out. And just work it. Little by little. Heat up the back. Roll it around with my thumb. Now let me show you an example here. Normally you can just roll with the back here and keep going, but it's just a hair off on the back. So I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to show you how you fix this. This is cast vinyl. I don't know what other graphic guys use, but I don't know. I use stuff that's pretty workable. So you can just pull it back up like that. It's not sticking super sticky yet because there's still a little bit of Windex under there. It was kind of laying down, going down this way. So what we want to do is we just want to kind of pick it up a little bit. So I'll peel it up to about right there. I'll just heat it up a little bit, just like that. Get it nice and free to where it'll work with you. Just like that. And then I'll just kind of roll it up to where I want it to go. Just like that. See that? And just went right where it wants to go. You can't do that without heat. This vinyl's not gonna, any motocross vinyl isn't gonna work with you like that unless you heat it up. But see how now we nailed it? Didn't hurt the graphic at all. Didn't put any pressure on it. We just heated it up, picked it up, and moved it right there. Now we don't even have to trim it or nothing. But that's basically done. It's laid down. It's not pulling. Oh, we got a little bit of Windex here, not letting it stick. So we'll just heat this up. Just roll it down. It's that simple, guys. It's not hard. Don't let it intimidate you. We just did that panel. I didn't struggle at all. That's how easy it is. Just like that. So now we'll just move to the right shroud and keep on trucking. We'll come back and just kind of double check this when we're done, make sure it's all laid down, but there's not one bubble in that graphic, and it's literally perfect, right where you want it. It's that simple. All right, moving on to the right shroud. You guys pretty much got it now. You guys kind of know what I'm doing. Spray it. Lay it down, get it close. So I put a little too much Windex down here. It's not wanting to stick. Totally fine. Doesn't matter. This might be a little complicated right here, because it's got a curve to it and it folds up that way. So it'll be cool. I'll just show you guys how I work that out. Oh yeah, we got a curve here too. So this one's probably just as complicated as the rear. But when I say complicated, it's not super complicated. Just a little bit. Let's get this. Start in the middle. Get it nice and warm. Kind of. You guys will notice I use my thumb a lot. I don't use the squeegee. Sometimes squeegees can put little surface scratches in your vinyl. That's why I don't really mess with the squeegees with motocross. I just use my thumb. And I can feel it better. I can feel if there's a bubble with my thumb. Right, start in the middle. Just kind of work it like that. Heat it up. Lay it down nice and easy. Sometimes you burn your hand. It's okay. Like that. If I can feel right here, it's going to want to get tricky. Because there's a crease right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's really not hard, guys. It's easy. Take your time. If you get to a point where you're having trouble, just heat it up, soften the vinyl up, work it with your finger. Real easy. Just like that. Getting up to the top. Just like that. Okay, that's done. The front's done. Middle's done. And I just gotta roll these little edges. Get the rear kind of hot so it'll evaporate that Windex out. Lay it down. Lay down the edge. Just like that, guys. No bubbles. Very, very nice. It's that easy. Alright, we're going to do the back fender. Alright, moving to the rear. These ones are pretty easy. The rear's same thing. Little mist, just like that. These ones, you kind of want to get, don't worry about the edges. Just get it centered, kind of where you want it. Like that. Once you know you're centered, just kind of get those to where they lay down somewhat. You want it to start in the center here. Grab your squeegee or your thumb and just press down in the center here. Get it to lay. And then just work your way out. Just like that. Put a lot of Windex, it won't want to stick perfectly, but that's fine. It's a good thing. Lay down the plastic on the inside. Oops. Okay. Just take your time. Get these to lay down just right where you want them. Like that. See how it's kind of pushing up here? It's totally fine. Let me show you why. As soon as you heat it up, it'll relax. It'll lay right down. Just need that Windex to evaporate. Just keep pushing it down. Let it get hot. Eventually it'll evaporate. The vinyl will stick. Whew. Simple as that, guys. No bubbles. If there was a bubble, usually you have enough Windex. Say there was a bubble right here. You just kind of run your thumb and just push the bubble out, just like that. And just heat the whole thing up. Make sure it's going to stick. There's the rear fender. Like I said, go back around it. Give it about 20-30 minutes to dry. And then come back around with the heat gun and touch it up again. That's the back fender. Alright, these front fenders can sometimes be tricky because they have so many lines in them, they can kind of get out of hand. This is where the Windex helps. I always start with the middle strip. Get it in the middle. Get it kind of close like that. Grab this one, just kind of work it in. Get it close. And then lay that one. Just get them close. The whole point of having the Windex is so you can kind of get it close. Make sure you're centered. Nothing worse than getting a graphic on and it's crooked. So this one's dead square in the center here. Square it up all the way up here. I'm gonna have to tuck it under this plate, which isn't a big deal. If you have like a squeegee, you can just push it under. I have fabric on both sides of that one. So you just grab a squeegee and just get it up under there. And then that one's just trying to pull up right there. No big deal. Just like that. Alright. Heat gun. Start in the middle. Work it down. Just like that. Work the edge. Roll it off. Start down here. Start in the middle. Push your air bubbles out. I'm not dead. I'm not like right down here. You can see I just kind of stay off just to keep it warm. Stay in the middle. Push outward. Get your bubbles out. Go to the edge. Once you get to this edge, just like slowly roll the vinyl over. Let me turn this. Like that. Find your, see that little bubble? Start on those bubbles and just push those bubbles down. Don't start here and work your way that way because it will crease up right here. If you use enough heat, you'll get the creases out, but why not just do it right? Make it easy on yourself. And the bottom piece. Bottom piece here. Then we'll do the same thing over here. Super simple. Start in the middle. Run your thumb down. Push your edges out to the edge, or push your air out to the edge. You see these guys? Probably can't even see it. I'm gonna move the camera. Move the camera so you can see this. Right there. Boom. Okay. So I basically just went down the center here, pushed my air bubbles out up to the top. That one's all set. Now we're just gonna work this part down until we get to our edge. Lay this down real quick. And then get to our edge, and then we'll just roll it over. Trying to wrinkle up there for a second. I just got it hot and rolled my thumb real easy. Laid it right over. Super simple. So let me show you guys. You're never going to be perfect. So right here you'll see I kind of rolled down past that. There's some vinyl here that's kind of hanging. So it's no big deal for you to grab your blade. I push the blade out a little ways like that, and I'll come in here and I'll just run right along the edge of the plastic. Not too hard because you don't want to cut the plastic. And just run your blade right along the edge of that plate right there. And just trim off the extra. We do this with sprint cars all the time. You'll have a little extra. What happened is I just laid it down a little bit that way. You can pull it all back up if you want and get it, but if you're a 1/4 inch, it doesn't hurt to trim it off. Warm it up. Roll it around. Down here. you would never know that that was trimmed. You're not going to be perfect every time, but what you can do is you can just fix the little stuff. All right, that's it. That one's done. I already laid this down. Oh, there's a little, it's picking up here a little bit, so I'll just get it warm. Lay it down. Just like that. There's still some Windex under there. So, just get it to lay. We'll give that 20 minutes and we'll come back. That's pretty much done. All right, swing arms are easy. I don't use Windex. Just try not to block you guys. Swing arms, I just kind of eyeball how high I need to be, like this, you know? And then I'll pull my finger all the way down. And go underneath. This template literally goes the whole swing arm. The whole length of the swing arm here. So I'm gonna trim it. I'm not gonna let it go. That's interesting. Just like that. Yeah, it would go all the way up the swing arm, but you're not gonna see it, so you might as well trim it. But anyway, swing arms are easy. Just lay it down with your thumb. As you can see, they're not super smooth. They have little ribs or whatever, so you can pull them up pretty easily. Just like that. Swing arm done. All right, so final item. Here's the fork. I'm just gonna film one side because it's the same on both sides. So with the fork, same thing. You want to spray it lightly with the Windex. Same deal. Start in the middle. These forks are kind of hard. Just get it kind of where you think it needs to be. Slide it around. That's why we use the Windex. Right about there. Roll it around. That looks pretty good to me. Needs to go over just a little bit. Start in the middle, push it down, make sure you're lined up. Just get it down for the most part, like get it close. We're pretty much dead on. We're dead on. No, notice I didn't use a ton of heat yet. I'm just getting it started. That way if I do have to peel it up, if I notice anything weird, I can just peel it up pretty quick. But that's pretty much dead on. So now that we know we're dead on, fire up the old heat gun, heat it up in the center. Forks are kind of weird because unless they're on the bike, but you can't do them on the bike. It's too hard. Roll it around. This kind of has a little indent here. You can kind of see. So all we're going to do is just kind of peel it up so that way we don't create a bubble. Peel it up like that. It's got a little dish right here. So I'm just going to heat it up. And then we'll push it in with our finger. Heat it up some more. Just like that. Boom, it's done. This thing pretty much laid down on its own. We have a little deal here, a little crease. Heat that up. Push it in. See that? There's like a faint little line there. Probably have one over here too. Yep, right here. You can feel it. We'll go ahead and work the top while we're here. Warm it up. The reason I'm leaving the heat gun on, guys, is because it keeps the little heat strip in the heat gun. It keeps it kind of hot. That way, when I turn it back up, it doesn't take very long to heat up. Just rolling it with my finger. Just like that. This vinyl will pretty much do whatever you want it to do. If you're just patient with it, you just keep it kind of warm and be patient with it. It'll do what you want it to do. Just gotta be patient. When you take your time and you really try to make it look good, these things always end up looking super professional. They're not pulling up and looking all wore out before you even put it on the bike. Alright, so basically now we got both of these little slits here laid. Now I'm just gonna work my way to the edge. Oh, we got another little indent right there or something. It's part of the mold. Push it down. That's it. That's how you do a fork guard. Looks beautiful. We'll, I'm gonna skip the other one because it's literally the same thing. And then show you the whole bike. Alright guys, this thing's done. This thing looks sick. Pretty easy to put graphics on a dirt bike if you just do it the right way. Use Windex, use the heat gun, and they turn out good. There's no bubbles on this thing, but I think this thing looks sick. What do you think?
It's dope, dude.
What's your favorite part?
The whole thing.
You afraid to ride it now or what?
Nah.
Alright, he's gonna rip it anyways. Alright, that's it for the video. See you guys on the next one.